The federal government has started to announce their housing strategy. The federal government struck a $74 million deal with London to fast-track the creation of more than 200,000 housing units over the next 3 years. And the goal of this is to build density and to build multiple different types of homes. Duplexes, triplexes, apartments, etc. But that $74 million isn't new money. It's part of the Housing Accelerator Fund, which is supposed to create 100,000 new housing units. It should be noted that this does not actually cover all of the housing units that we need. Last time I checked, I believe it's actually less than half. But the federal government isn't also responsible for building literally all of the housing. Because according to Doug Ford and Pierre Poilievre, what we need to do is allow for developers to build more housing, but what we're seeing right now is with higher interest rates, developers not taking on new projects. That's not to say that developers aren't an important part of the strategy to build houses, but it's important to note that fundamentally in our history, when we needed housing built, especially in times of need, it was the government that stepped in to fund those projects. But this $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund was first promised in 2021 and put into the budget in 2022. Why is it just now that they're starting to tap into that money? Why not before? Why didn't we start on this sooner? This is a good strategy. This should expand to all of the cities across the country. We should be building more government housing, government-funded housing, housing of different densities. This is good, but it is just like too little too late at this point. If anything, the project should be doubled, tripled in size. Once again, the government can't build all of the housing, but if developers aren't building and we are in desperate need of the housing, it looks like the government might have to build more of the housing. I have in the past on this channel talked about how important I think it is for the government to be involved in the development of housing and how government housing is a necessary part of an affordable housing strategy. We're going to have to wait for more details to make sure that investors aren't just buying up these properties and flipping them for twice the cost. There needs to be regulation around these houses. There needs to be rent control. There needs to be other ways to ensure that these aren't used for investments and that actual families are living in these units. Otherwise, it's not going to matter.